Is it on? Can you hear? Can you hear me back there?
Now we can.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
How about now?
No.
Okay, look at that, it's 2:30, right on the dot. Before I introduce our wonderful member,
Don't build it up too much.
our wonderful esteemed member, I would like to ask people that have brought something for the challenge, which is have a heart. I just want to be sure I've got everybody listed. So bear with me. Linnell, Sherry, Shirley, Carolyn, Patty, Pam. Have I missed Bill? I missed Bill. Okay. Okay. Anybody else? Oh, look at this.
Paul and Sarah.
Paul. And you're each bringing something to show.
Yep.
Ooh, okay.
I saw them come in.
I got my eyes watching. Okay, did I get everybody? If I've added Bill, Paul, and Sarah. Good? We're good, okay. That's important, that was important. Okay, now, I'd like to introduce our great esteemed member, Steve Ellenberg.
Sorry, I just got a phone call. I gotta go.
You are that important.
Yeah, right.
One thing I want to share, because I was going through the short, quick bio of Steve on our newsletter. He painted the mural on the east side wall of the Placerville hardware store. And I don't think it's going to be projected. Well, it will be projected up on the screen because I'd like
She wants
you
me
to put it right at the camera so you guys can see this. I mean, this is huge.
He did the fossil peach stand too.
Yep.
And if you've got that picture, you could share that one too. That's beyond me, but it's beautiful. It's a beautiful mural. So, Steve, if you could share that.
Okay.
Everybody see it okay?
Let me know when Steve's ready so I can switch microphones, please.
He looks ready.
Oh, you know what? You can't hold it in front of the camera because we're projecting
Okay,
from the
got
computer.
slideshow. Okay. Then do it at the end. Do it at the end.
We're not live here.
I think you're good.
Okay.
All right, moving on.
Actually, you know what? I'll send you a.
It may be, you'll also have some slides further on about some of the things you've done in there, so maybe.
Okay, and
we'll
you know
catch
what
it.
else? During the break, if you want to see it,
Ask
come
Steve.
up and ask Steve. It's brilliant.
We'll
It's
switch.
amazing how many people drive by that mural that's 100 feet long across the entire building and across the back of the building and haven't seen it. That's just amazing.
But the colors are so vivid. What year did you do it?
I started in 2018, and I've been adding to it ever since. I worked on it literally last month.
Now, your microphone is off, so just speak
Oh,
up.
my microphone
He's
is on.
on,
Am
you're
I in?
off.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
okay. So
Do I have to talk like this the whole time?
Steve is going to share a very wonderful, interesting concept in conjunction with Tracy. But it's Steve's show. Okay, take it away.
With Tracy's.
Can everybody hear me okay? So, thanks for having me. And warning to everybody, don't ask Linnell a question because you end up speaking afterwards. Just kidding. No, I do art shows, and I made an inquiry to whether we'd ever consider doing an art show as a Placerville Art Association. And she said, great idea. But we've done them in Placerville. We've done them around Placerville. We've done them all over the place. This picture here is a great example. That's downtown. Great art festival back in 2019. And so the question is, do we want to try to do something like that? And the answer is yes, we do. So the next question is, what does it take to do it? So I thought what we'd do is, ooh, it worked. Yes, love it when technology comes together. Kind of talk about Tracy and I, who we are, where we came from, and then why are we here? I just kind of went over that a little bit. Then talk about some of the tools and things that are available in the area that can help us do something like this. Talk a little about shows. Some have a slide here that what can go wrong, because there's some serious things that can go wrong. What issues need to be resolved, what it might look like, and we've done some preliminary budget work so we can take a look at it and see how big is this thing, right? How big is the breadbasket? And then open it up to questions so everybody can kind of, because I'm sure there'll be some. And then I threw in these two things here for Tracy and me for additional things. You can cut us off if you want to, but I'm actually on the Public Art Committee for the Art and Culture Council in El Dorado. And of course Tracy's doing the plein air event, so we want to talk about that as well. Okay, so who are we? Been around here for 10 years. Been painting since started in pencil, some 30 years ago. I do take some pride in some public art. I've got the Plastic Hardware Store, Hank's Exchange, Fossil Peaches. If anybody knows, there's a connection between those first two, but isn't there always a connection between all the art we do?
Yeah.
I have a town hall banner sitting right next to town hall. It's a snowboarder on the wall. I've done 2 concession trucks where it was really weird. They brought in a horse trailer into my driveway and I painted them. One was a pizza shack and the other one was a coffee trailer for the church over here on Cold Springs. And of course, banners on parade, Bill. So it's been fun. But what brought me here was the 4 or 5 shows that I do a year, because I really don't do much around. When there is something here, I do it. I did the Winderlust. Some of the art festivals have been around. But the shows, and I'll talk about more about those, that I go to are usually off into other distant places, and they're very successful. Lafayette gets 100,000 people to show up. And when you have 100,000 people walking by, your odds go way up on actually selling something. And my partner in crime is Tracy. She's helped me do all this, so come on up.
Oh.
Can we do the mic for her?
No, you don't have to. I can talk loud enough. Oh. Hi. So, hello. Anyone not know me? Exactly. Okay, so, all right. Well, hello. I'm Tracy Loth, and I'm the chair of the plein air competition this year. And I assisted Jerry last year do it, very successful event, and it's coming up in May again, and I will talk about it just a little bit. But what we were looking at doing was combining the plein air competition with an art festival next year, because we want to grow the plein air, which I'm going to talk more about at some point during this presentation, but that's the whole genesis of this kind of art festival and plein air festival. So when you're looking at this, think about us bringing the plein air component in it. So I've been a plein air artist for, 12 or 15 years or so, but been painting for about 35 years. And I think it's really something that we could do here and really make successful. So it's the only non-juried show in Northern California. So all other plein air competitions around are all juried. So we're looking at this being a non-juried show with the juried component. So anyway, that's me, so you're up.
And specifically, Tracy will be speaking more about this year's plein air competition next month at our member meeting. So you guys can ask her questions about that, but she will be going into a lot more detail about the kind of supplies that you need for plein air painting, what you can expect at a competition like this next month.
Especially for
as well.
first timers, so.
But because we're talking about a mashup of these 2 events, we've got Tracy on tap here backing Steve up and discussing how we might turn this into something very different than what anybody else does and unique to us.
Right, because no one else is doing it in our area. I mean, last year we had the plein air organization, what is it called? Well, they did the big plein air convention in Tahoe. They had thousands of plein air artists here. So why can't we just get hundreds, right?
Yeah.
And then we combine it with an art festival, which Steve brings the expertise of that, and it would give us an opportunity to grow our plein air presence in this area, so, and really make a name for ourselves. So.
And add another exciting event to Placerville
Right.
Arts Association's list of events that we produce.
Right. So anybody here not know what plein air is? So it's a la prima, it's painting in the outdoors. So I'll talk much more detail about it next month, and there'll be more information on the website. But anyway, that would be bringing in live artists with an art festival. You're up.
Forgot the CEO. I like that part.
Oh, the CEO, yeah, yeah.
That's why she's gonna be in charge when I get really good at this. Okay, so one thing Linnell wanted me to talk about was what can go wrong, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I've seen it all. I saw it down in El Dorado Hills at the town center. They had the El Dorado Wine, Beer, and Art Festival, which is a great festival, but it's canceled now. And I watched a tent fly away.
Oh.
It was just shocking to see this tent, because they didn't use weights, right? And they always tell you, gotta weigh your tent down. And I just saw this thing floating away. I swear it was 50 feet in the air. I have no idea where it landed. I wish I had my phone out to take a picture of it. It was one of those things. But you can see, things go wrong. And indoor ones are actually pretty good, because you're protected. If you do it in July, you got air conditioning. I did the Sacramento Art Festival down at Cal Expo. That was great. But then you just do the outdoor shows, and things work as long as you weigh your tent down and you pay attention. And there's always going to be some rules to go along with it. But I've had very good success in them, so that's why I keep traveling out to them, because it's worth my time and energy to do it. And I get commissions from it, which is a lot of fun. My favorite story is in El Dorado again, El Dorado Hills. Guy came in with his girlfriend and had a portrait of Johnny Depp. And she was just drooling over. She loved it. I really want this. And the guy's like, no, Johnny Depp is not going to my house. Right? So they walked away. The guy called me an hour later. Goes, okay, I want to buy it for her. And I'm going to surprise her with it. And then he hired me to do 2 commissions for his house after that. So those connections you make are just fantastic. And I've had that happen in several areas where they call me up afterwards and they're like, could you? Or I love the one down. I had a piece down in the Barbera Festival in Amador. And, okay, it was a little suggestive piece. I won't show you.
Steve has been known for painting nudes, just saying.
I've never, okay. Thanks for opening up that sliding door. Okay, so it was a little suggestive. And, but the owners of the Renegade Winery came up to me and go, can you paint that as a pirate? And I'm like, yeah. Of course I can. And she ended up on the front of a bottle of Barbera wine. And then they hired me to do 3 more labels after that. So those connections are just huge, and you just need the people to show up. And at a wine festival, well, I'm a big supporter of adding wine to it, is just because tipsy people pay more. But I've also had a guy walk into my booth one time and take a picture off my wall and start walking around like, where are you going? He goes, I'm going to go show my wife. I'm like, you're not. So weird things happen, but that's anything you want to add to the good and bad and the ugly? I think the good is I think far outweighs the bad and the ugly, but obviously there's been some disasters from time to time, because you are outside, and that's what would push us maybe go inside instead.
So Steve, the 2 middle pictures, which are disasters, were you there at those festivals? Are those your pictures you took?
No, I just stole them off the web.
Okay, gotcha.
Just went to Google and said, give me disasters, art, and wine shows. Guess what? Plenty to choose from. But I've never experienced one. The worst I've ever had was rain. I was in Texas for a while and doing a show down in Clute. And they'd already moved us off the grass onto the parking lot, but the parking lot was behind the school. And it just rained horribly that whole weekend long, and nobody ever came. Fortunately, the artist next to me bought a painting from me. I'm like, yes, I made some money. But stuff like that happens when you do an outdoor, even indoor. If it's raining, it was like having an art festival on Super Bowl weekend. You wouldn't do it. People are going to be distracted. So rain will do that too. But I haven't had any kind of real, this kind of thing. I got another one. I'll shut up after a while. I was in Texas again, because Texas, that whole area is extreme weather, right? They mark it on the map, extreme weather zone. And we were in San Antonio, I think it was, and they were saying it was going to rain that night, so I kind of brought my art off the wall so I didn't want the wind shaking and stuff, and packed it all up. And when I came back, I had a trimline tent. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's made of galvanized pipe, so it's heavy itself already. It's not like these pop-ups here that just collapse. And it had weights. And I got out the next morning, and it had moved 1.5 feet overnight. Fortunately, I'd taken all my art off the wall, but the guy next to me didn't. And he paid the ultimate price. And he was a woodworker, too, so it just scattered everything out. So, on a positive note, though. Anyway, let's
Sold
move
a
on.
painting.
I sold a painting. That was a great show. I sold a bunch of paintings there, but I had it all tucked away. So we have these things going on already, and I don't know that we really need to merge them. We're going to merge the plein air. But what other ones do we want to merge? It's not really, I mean, it's open for question. If someone has a good idea or wants to do it for different reasons, we can consider it. Right now, what's on the table is merging the plein air show and an art show. So the question at hand for today is, do we want to do this? Do we want to go on and do these shows like we've had here before and are very successful and have is this going to be on the web for them to look at later? Or? So I took the slides out in the middle. I had every show that was listed in California, and there's about 35 of them. So we're just going to go through some of the details and then open it up for question and answer. These engagement companies, if you haven't heard of them, are awesome because and I'll show you what shows they do, but they all go out and find artists from around the countryside. And so we don't have to take the whole onus of looking to fill the art tables and booths and things. So, maybe we can generate 100 here. I don't know, but they can generate 200 for us. That's worth it. This is what I found. This is at the end of the presentation here. These are the festivals that Pacific Fine Art does. Some familiar names in there, Tahoe City. Some of these are small shows that are just on the street side. So you have to look into each one of them. Half Moon Bay, I've always wanted to do them just because it sounds like fun to be out there. I've done the Graygle. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. Graygle?
Graygle.
That was fun because it's out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Beautiful country. And unfortunately, fortunately everybody knows about it. Fortunately I didn't sell anything. And art walk on the Comstock is Virginia City. That was a lot of fun, if you like Virginia City. Ecostrom has had the most successful. They just dropped the Lafayette Art and Wine Festival, which really disappointed me. And now you have to be either a member of the local Chamber of Commerce or pay an exorbitant, I can tell you, it was $850, but they were my highest booth space at $450. And they raised it to $850. Now I'm looking at it like, can I sell $850 by the time I drive down there, pay for food, maybe rent a hotel? It's like, at 400 I was kind of doing it, but I have sold there. This is the one that has thousands of people at it. I mean, 100,000 people show up to the thing. You literally can't walk across the street. There's so many people. So, what are the things? Am I going too fast? What are the things we need to think about? And for me, the fairgrounds becomes the #1 choice for me, but we're open to it. It could be anything we want it to be. The reason I like the fairgrounds versus, say, Main Street's done some great shows in the past. City Council has kind of stepped on that a bit. It's $7,000 to shut down Main Street now. And as comparison, you can get a building in the fairgrounds for $1,000. So I was like, which way do you think we should go here? And then the merchants aren't real crazy about us shutting down Main Street. Some of them are okay with it, but we could work on that. That issue doesn't bother me much because I know the merchants down there. I worked down there at Thomas Kincaid for years.
Is it 7,000 a day or 7,000 for an event?
I don't think they have 2-day events. So
Okay. All
I'd
right,
say
good to know.
2-day. And I think the merchants would hang us if we tried
Yeah.
to do a 2-day event. But it wasn't that long ago. We had an antique festival going down there. We had Oktoberfest going down there. We had, the wagon train. That was a big deal. And then the wagon train stopped. And then I think probably what happened is COVID happened. And then new people came into office. And now we have, 4 events or something like that they closed it down for. So that makes it a little harder to do Main Street. Coloma's got some good space. There's wineries out there that've got lots of good space. But for me, one of the driving forces, and I know that's different from plein air, is that I want it to be in the same place and repeatable. Because that's what these other shows have, is they know what's going to happen every town center. Everybody knows where town center, if you know El Dorado Hills, right? Lafayette downtown, that thing's been going on for 26 years. And so people know about it, and they come back to it. How long should it last? Most of the shows I do are 2 days, because I have, you saw back there, the tents, I have pro panels, I hang my art up on there. I'm not young anymore, and so it's a lot of work to get all that stuff set up, and to do it in 1 day is double the work in 1 day. But we could start with a 1-day affair. I'm doing an Amador 4-fire down in May, and that's a 1-day affair, and it's only open for 5 hours. That's because of the 850 thing, but anyway. So something for us to talk about. Right now, I'm leaving for 2 days, and you'll see the schedule I put together. Who should participate? Only local artists, or should we have open it up to the world? Obviously, I'm on the world of open it up, because then the onus would be on us entirely to drive the whole thing, and there's good and bad for that. Do you add beer and wine, music, local businesses to sell their stuff? The thing to think about as we talk about this is, why are people coming? And fortunately or unfortunately, depending you look at it, alcohol is a big winner up here. And we have any wineries we have just in El Dorado County, let alone Amador County. Music's a good draw. I wish that our art was enough to draw people in. Maybe Randy can do it. I'm sure he's got some good success. But I know I can't put my sign up and go, hey, everybody come. It ain't gonna happen. So we need to think about other things to make them come. Plein air has a great model to go with, but the artists are the event.
Yes.
And that makes a difference.
Right, so to combine the plein air with it, so the artists come and they would paint live. So there's a live component, but then there's also a static component, which is the display of the fine art and the people coming in and that. So we would have to logistically work that out, but there are some great plein air art competition or competitions and art festivals around the country that have combined it. And some of them are as much as a week long now with workshops and people coming in. I'm not suggesting that, but there is a way for us to attract people to come in, but it will take an effort on the whole organization to do this. I mean, we'd all have to come together as a team to combine these two events.
But I think another good point for it is that if we're bringing in artists or purchasers, your plein air artists have a better chance of selling their stuff.
Absolutely, and it is a draw for people to come and see people paint. You know, we've all been out and seen someone painting. Well, I've been out painting and I get a crowd of people. And so it's a draw. And people are intrigued by plein air. So we thought we could combine the two together and have an opportunity to be successful at this and have a reason to do a festival beyond just an art festival that obviously there's other people doing. We wanted to give it an edge. So
that's a great idea. We could have all the artists. Plein air like to go off and paint other subjects necessarily.
Yeah.
But we could encourage or require that if you're going to show in our show, you have to be painting in your booth. I've never done that before, and that would be really brutal on me, but that's something that people, because I have seen that at Thomas Kincaid, it got slow every once in a while. Okay, it got slow because it closed, obviously, but I would bring my easel in the back of Thomas Kincaid. People loved to come back and talk to me while I was painting on something because they're just intrigued by it.
Right, yeah, and there's lots of different things that we can add to it. You can do a quick draw, which is where people come in and in 2 hours produce art, and then you sell it for charity, and so that brings the local, community in as well. So that's good, and you get your artists to participate in that. And there's all kinds of little things that we can do to really bring that live action to an art festival. So, and really incorporate the community. And we have how many people in the greater Sacramento area? Half a million, a million?
Million and a half.
Million and a half, probably, yeah.
And there's no other plein air here.
Yeah.
So.
And I like, of all the options that they're listing up there of possibilities, one of the reasons I like the fairgrounds is it gives us a place to grow, but there's also adequate parking at the location, which is not the case with downtown and not the case with wineries. Some of us have worked events at wineries, and we're stacking our cars up with no place left for the public to park. So you're not gonna get 1,000 people in and out of a winery in a day. You could pretty easily get, and the reason I'm using the number 1,000 is the El Dorado Hills Chamber of Commerce, their wine festival and wine art festival that they did several years ago, they got 1,000 per day in the 2 days of attendance. So I'm looking at that number of a very possible number to have happened to us. Now, in 4 days at the county fair, they have around 16 to 18,000 people come through the doors in a 4-day period. So obviously there's adequate parking for that, although they do run shuttles from Park and Ride, and I can't even imagine us getting to the 4,000 people a day. So I think that we won't have to worry about running buses. But that's why, we've talked about this, I lean toward the county fair as making it possible for us to grow the event year after year. And we've done a lot with the county fair, participating in their fine art exhibit every year and volunteering for that exhibit. So we've built up a few creds with the county fair that we may be able to cash in for this event.
They have bathrooms too.
Yes.
Very important.
Yes, because porta potties can really up the budget,
Up the
and
budget, and who really likes to use a porta
yeah,
potty?
nobody likes those.
But there's other things about the fairgrounds, like you said, that,
Yeah.
that just lend itself to it right away.
Yeah.
Not to mention just the fairgrounds people are used to doing events, right? So they have lots of good things. Like, I was really shooting for July, and I guess still like am technically shooting for July, but I'm watching our horrible winter out here. We're just being thrashed by snow and wind and rain. And I'm thinking the fairgrounds turns into the parking lot for the fire.
Yeah.
And so everything's canceled. Everything's canceled. So we need to pick maybe a later date or an earlier date or something like that. So that's how early we are in this. We can change anything. Nothing is in stone. The other thing she told me as out there at the county fair is, oh, they have these races. Oh, that's right. The figure 8 races and the lap races.
And we have to not be there for those because the people camp in that whole circle around the fair office. There's just, it's
Yeah.
full RVs for
So-
people camping for the races.
So once we get established, though, I think actually that will be the time when we bring in people to the fairgrounds and we start getting to be like, the wagon train was something that used to go there very often. The fairgrounds for the fair, of course. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I like the fairgrounds. The Corley building, I think, is the one you would be talking about renting. It's a large building, and so there's a lot of space. You need a lot of artists so that it didn't look empty.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the idea of opening up to other artists from other areas to help build that building so it didn't look empty.
Yep.
I mean, people travel from around the world to come to the Carmel plein air, right? Or what's the one in Southern California, or Laguna plein air. They come in a week ahead of time just to sit and sketch out where they're going to paint. Or the one out in Palm Desert. There's one out in Palm Springs. Huh?
Coachella?
Something, but they come, a week ahead of time just to go out and sketch and see where they're going to paint. And yeah, so I mean, it's big, and you can get world-renowned artists in if you expand it. But you have to get people to attend to.
What about advertising it in Plein Air Magazine and online with Eric Rose?
Yes, that we were looking. Yeah, they. I think in December.
And this
you
is
have to
one of the
decide.
reasons we have to plan so far in advance, because we're not talking about this for this year.
No,
We're
for
looking at this for
2027.
next year.
Yeah.
So that we can take all these factors in, publication dates for magazines like you just suggested, Pam.
And we'll talk a little about advertising.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is really for Tracy. Is the fairgrounds a good area to do plein air painting?
Well, it is, but plein air, they'll go out and they'll go to the river. They'll go wherever. Plein air artists are used to going out and finding a place to
So
paint.
they're not all sitting right in that.
No,
same
they're not all
spot.
sitting there. No, chances are they'll come and check in the morning. So how it works is they come and check in, and we stamp their canvases. And if we get big enough, it's great, we could do it the night before, and have hundreds of artists come in, but you still stamp it, and it's more of a timed event. So they go out, and then they have to come back at a certain time that day to turn it in, be judged, and to be in the show. So it's about, you give them 7-8 hours during the day to go out and paint.
Got it.
And so they leave. They'll go find their own spot. They could drive to Tahoe and paint. There's actually gonna be enough time in the day.
There are a lot of vineyards up in, go to Georgetown Divide. About 6 vineyards up there, beautiful scenery, I mean.
Yeah, I think the
don't-
fact that they are not required to stay within the fairgrounds venue gives
Yeah.
the painters a lot of options.
And in fact, we don't even encourage that they stay there. I mean, that plein air artists go out and find their own place to paint. And they've probably scoped it out before the event, yes.
But then how are people watching them?
Well, you can see them out and about in the community. Some might go downtown and paint, some might go, out to the river and paint. I mean, you see them around, they're peppered in the community, and you will see them. But that's why we might have an event like a quick draw, where they would actually, a 2-hour event, they quickly produce any piece of art they want, and then we sell them live right there for charity. So you're bringing in the charities, you're bringing in the community, you're bringing in the artists, and they get to see them do the painting right there on the spot. So it's very special, yes.
When I did the plein air for the state fair, I went out and said, well, I need an animal, I need a child, I need some music, I need some. So maybe if we could think about including some of those things.
Some props?
Some people, some children, some,
Oh, you mean in the event?
yeah.
Yes,
If
yes.
we could attract that.
Yeah, that's
No-
why.
No children.
But I understand what you're saying, that we would have something out, we would tie with other organizations or
It's an
other.
insurance issue.
That would be the charitable, that you do a quick draw and you would raise money. I mean, it's a very fast event. And you get to watch all the artists create their art, and then they go up on tables and they're auctioned right there.
So we did, a few years back, there was a steampunk Wild West festival at the county fairgrounds. I don't know if any of you guys remember.
I saw the signs.
Yeah, you're the one guy that showed up? No. No, it was a great festival for that kind of thing. The marshals were there, they did a shootout, they had all sorts of things going on that plein air painters could go over and paint if there was, those guys will stand still for a second or two.
Take a picture.
But, yeah, so,
And that speaks to who do we invite to
Yes.
participate. So if we're looking to create color, then we open it up to more service organizations that maybe would bring in something like the artists, or maybe we invite the wagon train people to have a booth, and then they'll come dressed in period costume. We invite the Roses, the ladies that dress in the 18th century
Right.
garb. We invite that group to come and strut around. They love that. So there are ways to get that kind of color that you're looking for, Kate, by inviting different people to come and participate in the event. And they don't even necessarily need to be paid. These kind of people will, like those gals that are the Roses, they'll dress up and they'll come on out.
yeah,
So.
and I talked to the wagon train people already, and they were open to it. They're gonna talk about it this week at their meeting. So they could come through downtown and end in the fairgrounds, although there's controversy with that.
And that's how you get people to actually attend, the public to attend, is that you partner with these community organizations. And they then expand out to their, fan base or their membership or whatever, and their supporters, and that's how you get them in. And so that's why partnering with a charity of some kind, so we raise money for, the school art program. I mean, whatever. I don't want to put ideas in our heads just yet on that, but there are things that we can do that would expand getting attendance there, because we can build this and we can make it happen, at least one. But we've got to have people attend, because then the artists won't participate the next year.
Yeah, that steampunk
That's
festival we
the
had.
important thing, is you got to have the people come, attend, buy the art, watch the artist, participate, listen, eat food.
Yep.
That's the most, we can build this. That's easy. Steve and I could right now contract, well, not right now, but we could contract with an organization that would bring artists in, and we could rent the fairgrounds and that, but what we need is we need these community organizations that we can partner with. And that's how we get sponsors, too. So if we, we partner with somebody and they give us an in-kind service, and then we give them presents at the event, and then something we don't have to pay for. And then, but it looks like a sponsorship, so you put their logo up and whatever, and then they promote it out to their group of people, and they get their biggest supporters to show up. So that's really important that we start building those blocks and that foundation of this, because that's really the way to make this work, is to have people show up and buy art. That's what we want. So any ideas you have are greatly appreciated.
And as we move into this, we'd love to have those of you who are especially interested in this participate in the committee.
Right, and we're not talking about carrying boxes around. We're talking about, brain trust. Participate in the
There will be some
planning.
boxes.
There will be boxes to move, yes. But that's when we get closer to the actual event. What we need is people in the room that can, give us ideas. And, like, for example, I've got a flyer on your table for this year's plein air event. And what I want to ask is to get those of you who are online on Facebook pages or on, Instagrams or whatever, that if we could get this art, and I could send it to you, or you can pull it off of our website even, and start posting it on your Facebook page or artist pages, and get people to sign up for this. Okay, because right now we're getting registrations, but that's what we need, is everyone to help. So
That's how social media works, and that social media is the best promotional tool that any of us have right now as life exists. Direct mail marketing is out. TV commercials probably beyond our reach and maybe wouldn't hit the right people, but your social media accounts are the most important way for you to help us bring attendance to our events.
Right, so if you can, directly right now, today, go home, give some assistance with getting this information out, this helps us build this better next year.
Not the art festival yet, the plein air
the plein
event
air,
coming
what's
up
on your
in May.
what's on your table, so, and then
Yeah.
sign up too. But, sorry.
No, that's great. You led us right into the next section here, the sponsors. And these are if you have any kind of connection with some of these groups here, any of the El Dorado associations, the Chamber of Commerce I've talked to already. I've already talked to a wine association, talked to merchants on Main too. City of Placerville doesn't seem to be super helpful, but I think when these things start taking off, so maybe the first couple of years we're really muscling it and getting this thing to be repeatable, and when they start seeing, ooh, I can tag onto this thing too, and ooh, then this will become a more viable source. But Beer Camp seems to be one that sponsors some of these shows. Bill?
I'd like to suggest also that you consider contacting the El Dorado Community Foundation, because El Dorado County has more nonprofits than any county in the state of California. And all of the nonprofits are always looking, well, I won't say always, but some are looking at different times to partner with other nonprofits, with other organizations, to get the word out about they exist. And so you might consider talking with Amy Cooley at Community Foundation and just to lay the groundwork.
Okay, I'm going to call you back in that because I can't find my pencil right now.
Well, that's actually a really good idea, because the people that participate, and the Women's Fund as well, their members are people that give to the community, have money to spend. So that's really important that we tap into those types of organizations that are tied in with people that are charitable and have money to spend and give back to the community, because that's what's going to really expand our fan base and get people to attend. Because there's two groups, well, three actually. We're talking about artists, we're talking about people that would participate in the festival itself by having a booth there, and then there's the general public that would come and attend. Right now, the plein air competition is a little hard for the public to attend. We do our best, but we're just getting it off the ground. That's what we want to do, is really open this up.
I would go farther than that arts, we'll have, the name will probably be something like, I don't know, what was that one? Gold Country Plein Air and Fine Art
Fine Art
Festival?
Festival,
Something
yeah, I like that.
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. But there's no reason why we couldn't have other arts, music, poetry. I mean, that's something that the El Dorado Culture Club likes to have people do poetry. I've never gone to one myself, but it doesn't close the door on anything, is what I'm saying.
And it's a
that-
festival, so what we're calling is a festival, so we can open it up and we're, arts is,
You have a sound stage, there's no reason not to put a poet on every once in a while in between the
or a
bands.
comedy show.
Yeah,
Exactly. Ooh, comedy show. I like that.
yeah.
Okay, so moving on, finances, we'll get to that in a little bit. Lynette
And let me
also-
just say, I have a budget put together, we put together a budget, I'm not worried. So, there we are, so,
And we'll show you the numbers.
Yeah.
And then we were talking about this a little bit, can we combine it with some other kind of event? Which I think is a really good thing, because it just makes that event more popular, we get to leverage them, they get to leverage us. And then this one, last one here, we'll talk a bit in a bit. We'll need some help. Oh, hey, check it out, there it is. There's gonna be these different areas that we really will need people help with. And coordination of the festival in general, we've kind of already started that, but the art vendors themselves, who are they? Are we gonna use one of these other companies, or are we gonna do it all ourselves? Sponsors, that's huge. I have no clue how to get sponsors, other than just go up and call Rayleigh's and ask them. But Rayleigh's has done it. I started looking at sponsors for other shows. other festivals.
Rayleigh's will only give to food distribution
Yeah.
nonprofits, so that one,
Okay,
yeah, so we know a little bit about that, but not a lot about that, so,
so if there was somebody who has done it before, at least a little bit, that has that kind of information,
Yeah.
that would be very helpful.
But here's where an in-kind donation comes in, because Rayleigh's could donate food towards a reception of some kind.
yes.
And that would be an in-kind donation that we wouldn't have to pay for, and therefore it becomes a line item on our budget as a sponsor.
And that might even be something that a store manager could do,
On the
I'm not
local
sure.
level,
So we
right.
might not even have to go to corporate on that.
Right.
So then we'll just need a chef, right, to cook them.
We want party trays.
But I think that's gonna be a big one for us because as you'll see on the next page of the budget, that's a line item that we really need to look at and get some help with. When I look at these other big festivals I go to, there's like 10 companies. Dick Blick is one of the ones that does it. Jerry's Artorama might do it, who knows? We just have to reach out to these different organizations. Advertising, if there's any social media bugs in here, that would be the place to do it, because we'll need to do something in there. We've got money kind of budgeted for that, but I'm not sure Style Magazine is the right one for it, but I get the magazine. Oh, okay, yeah, so, but do I actually go through each page? No. I look for the artist page, no. Mountain Democrat, there's other things out there that as you mentioned, there's other ways to do it. Social media being a big one. The county fairgrounds did tell me though that you can rent the Palladio sign down in El Dorado Hills or Folsom, and we can advertise it there. And if we do it at the fairgrounds, they'll advertise it on their banners out front.
And how about that guy that does the blown glass pumpkins every year? You see a sign at every exit.
Oh my gosh, that
I
guy was
know.
Well,
phenomenal.
and that's how the Gem and Mineral Society drives a lot of attendance to their annual event, is those small signs
Yeah.
that they put everywhere.
Yeah, you just put them at every exit, every on-ramp and off-ramp and.
And I went to it because I saw it in so many different places. I ended up going to it, and that's which actually where it was. I don't know. Did anybody go to it? I'm the only one.
The pumpkin one, I went to the
blown
pumpkin
glass
one. Yeah.
Thing, every,
There's blown glass.
Yeah.
Is this in Cameron Park on the Business Drive?
No, it's up there near Smith Flat, in the junction of Smith Flat and Carson.
I didn't go to that one. I went to the one in Folsom.
Oh, this one is. I never knew this place existed. I could see it as a year one show place, but we don't want to do year one here and year two there, year three over there. But it's a nice little venue.
What's the difference between doing a show like this in the summertime versus just before Christmas? Where people
Well,
find-
Plein air
we have
artists,
to be a
yeah.
little careful about just before Christmas, because what we want to be mindful of is avoiding directly competing with other art groups' big events. And El Dorado Hills has a pretty big event right before Christmas, which kind of makes us trying to look for something else like Wagon Train or something else to make this ours rather than taking from someone else.
But I wouldn't rule it out though. If we can find the right date, the right time.
but we also have to
So-
consider when plein air artists would want to paint.
Yeah.
That would,
So wintertime is not it. The fall, spring, but, you know.
this winter would have been great.
I don't know, I've been watching those people in the northern kinds going out with all their parkas and stuff on, and actually plein air painting, they talk about what kind of, what they have to add to their paint to make it
Yep.
flow when it gets that cold.
Yep.
Yeah, they're
Yep.
nuts.
But you have to,
I
yeah.
live in Apple Hill,
Mhm.
and right in the middle of it, and I noticed that it sort of drops off at Halloween. But it might be a way to have the Apple Hill growers extend their season of visitors if there was an event like that right around.
High
the
Hill would
end.
be a nice event place
And
too.
We all, yeah.
There, High Hill is, the old school, but we've got another new one that's even nicer, and it's more spread out, and, it's,
I'd want to look at parking for any
Yeah, any
winery
venue.
that we
They have about
consider.
1,000, parking spaces at
Wow.
this point.
That's pretty good.
But he brought up a good point earlier about being fire season, so we won't get bumped out of everything. if
Including the
there's a hu-
fairground.
Right, and if there's a huge fire, so the spring, earlier in summer is better, but again, it also depends on when the fairgrounds is available, because
Yeah.
remember, they are in their prime, their busiest season is June.
So
So-
June's out. You can't do
Yeah, June's
anything
out.
in June.
Yeah, so it would be a May thing, but
But
then we're
there's-
up against Art Tour, I'm not Art
No.
Tour,
Well, El Dorado Hills has an
El
art
Dorado
tour,
Art
but
Tour.
that's not, see, that's their art tour. And we do our art tour in the
In
fall, which
fall.
is when they're now coming with a close competition, not exactly on our dates, but with our
What's that show?
festival.
Yeah.
So, May could work if we could get in at the fairground. But that's not when Wagon Train comes down the hill.
No, so that would rule that out, but,
Yeah,
I mean, we looked at the Sacramento Art Festival we just saw and passed around. It's in May.
yeah.
Yeah, May's a great time. I mean, we can have iffy weather, but
March,
it's,
maybe. Right.
So,
but it's good weather for painting.
so get ready to, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna need you all volunteering, basically. That's what we're talking about
Yeah,
here. We need you.
and the advertising, like Tracy said, would need everybody to just keep passing it around, keep pushing it out, and we can pay for advertising, but it's really word of mouth and friends and your credibility in the art business that gets people out. Okay, so this is probably the one that kind of hit me. Is like, here I am. The reason I asked is I wanted to do a show local, so I didn't have to stay in a hotel. Here I am, probably up in that top box. So how
Right,
am I
you're
gonna-
sleeping at the pavilion that day.
How am I going to show? But anyway, there's going to be some need for people to do the operations the day of. That's all that point really
Yeah.
is. That there's a security coordination. We will most likely need security. How much? When? I don't know.
We put some money in the budget for it.
Yeah, and then just on site, someone's going to have to be able to take the questions for the day. And then beer and wine coordinator. Any volunteers today? But if my neighbor, by chance, my next door neighbor is the administrative assistant for the wine association. So El Dorado Hills Chamber of Commerce was trying to be helpful to me. And they're like, well, you can get a hold of this woman named Liz. I'm like, no. Yes, so this is my neighbor, and I'd already reached out to her. So we're already on the thought process with the wine association. They thought Winderlust was a bust. I was there. I sold at it, and I loved it. We combined it with Banners on Parade. I remember right in front of my booth there was all the banners that year. This is like 2018, 19, something like that. So combining together works. But they complained that they needed to have higher level purchasers. In other words, so no beer. You can't sell any beer.
But there's a point to that too. You've got to bring in people that will buy things. So you've got to kind of raise the bar of who we promote this to.
Yeah.
Because this is a, fine art festival, plein air festival. This is not just a, just a
Drinking
little-
contest?
It's not a drunk fest. And actually the wineries, it's really hard for them to get out of their tasting rooms on weekends.
Yep.
And so we don't, from my perspective, I don't know about yours, but from my perspective, I'm not looking at that as being like a huge draw for us, because you have to really pull teeth to get the wineries to participate, because they've all been kind of burned, over time, whether it's, it costs too much, it's too hard to get out of their tasting rooms, whatever.
And the wine industry's down in general right now. It's not burgeoning
Right.
like it used to, so.
And there is a problem with pouring too much wine. That's been some of the problems at some festivals, is that they're looked at as providing too much of the draw. And then it's just not a profitable thing for them.
But we
So-
have some ideas
We
to make
do.
it work.
Yeah, so there's,
I was gonna say, I think offering a class, like just somewhere during the festival, saying we're gonna have a 1-hour class on drawing.
Yeah.
Or people could come in a 1-hour class on something. So people could come over there and sit down and watch somebody give a short lesson.
It's very common, in fact, it's in almost all plein air festivals, that you have workshops and guest artists that come in and teach and demonstrate, and they go out somewhere, like they'll go out to Coloma on Friday or Saturday morning for 2 hours and do a class on plein air painting. I mean, it really, but that's where you start adding days, that's.
or you could do like Kathy Urquhart, she does a paint and sip class. She does them all over the place, you can do that for the
At the
day.
quilt festival, they'll announce over the loudspeaker, 1 o'clock, go over here, somebody's gonna be teaching about something
Sure.
for like an hour.
Mhm.
And then people go over there and then go back wandering around the booths. They don't have to go anywhere.
I think that's a really good suggestion, Roberta, and we're talking about having a lot of open floor space in perhaps the organ room, if we take that for the plein air festival. And running workshops like that in that space could even make sense, maybe not on Saturday, but it could be a draw into that area on Sunday.
Or even on Friday.
Well, then we have to pay for an extra day
Oh,
there,
okay.
but using the space on Sunday, because Sunday's typically a slower day, and if you offered, we're gonna have Jerry doing portraiture for an hour. We're gonna have Carolyn talk about how to draw hands for an hour. Those kind of things. You're good with hands, right, Carolyn? I've never seen bad hands come out
Hands
of you.
and feet.
Well, I was not going to do the feet because then you get into the whole fetish thing. But these kind of things, these are really good suggestions, and thank you for that, because I've been worrying about that whole space that we have to fill, and this would be a reason for that space to be there and something to take it to make advantage of. So thank you for that. Very good
And it's
suggestion.
exactly, we have not figured out really what the draw is yet.
Yeah, and we're going to put Roberta in charge of that part of it. So we already have a volunteer for that. Yes, thank you, Roberta.
So, needless to say, we'll need help. So everybody can see this clearly, right? Yeah, yeah. Actually, I was so bad, like I looked at this, I don't think I'll even be able to see this. I printed it out so I can read it.
This is so preliminary, though.
Oh, yeah.
And really, Linnell and Steve have worked on this and penciled out the numbers, and we believe that we can make it work.
Yeah.
We
So-
believe that there's enough in this.
Well, so we have the number of 50 artists in Forney, right? And that holds 80, I think that's what she told me. Some give or take.
Yeah, I looked at the square footage of it and ran the booth numbers, and I thought 50 was very doable. Anything beyond that, we might be pushing it, but we can
But that's-
we can walk it with a tape measure
But
and
depending
see.
on what time of year it is, we could have it out in that parking plaza area too. There's
Yeah.
another 50 out there, so there's 100 artists right there. if
Yeah.
we-
And then
we
there's
get
that
them.
breezeway space I've mentioned in the budget as
Right,
well.
right. So 50 is pretty conservative. Contestants, that's plein air
Yeah.
contestants. And then we start getting into the costs. And some of these things, we have our ABC license, we have to have that for it. Something for social media, and because I'm thinking with social media, we're going to be pushing ads, not just rely on everybody, but just to go ahead and do a boost for everything. Yeah, so there's insurance, if we're gonna have a band, and then there's a music license. Did you know that if you have a cover band playing in your space, you have to pay some licensing company a fee to be able to play music that they might own in their library. Restaurants who have bands pay that every month.
Churches too.
Really, churches too?
Yep.
Wow. Then a sound company, equipment rental, put some money in there for cleanup. So there's just, she's got a really nice projected revenue of somewhere around $24,000, and we spent $19,000 of that 24, come up with somewhere around 5,000. This is just to put a stake in the ground and say, what does it really look like? We've reached out to the El Dorado Hills Chamber of Commerce to see if we can get their budget. I reached out to Lexi Boger from Winderlust, see if I can get their budget. People are really shy.
Well, El Dorado Hills told us they spent $100,000 on their festival. And I'm like, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
But
At least
then
not
we
the
figured
first
out
year.
how not to do that. We don't have to spend $100,000 to do this.
I don't think we do. I don't. But see, but they had to rent porta potties. They had to rent the fire department. They had to rent the police
They had to
because they're on open streets.
Close down streets. Caltrans is expensive when you have to start doing that. The fairgrounds avoids all of that.
All of that, yeah. So they probably had to pay the town center something like our city council wants.
Right, right.
So that all adds up. So this is basically based on the fairgrounds. One thing we would need to do is already we're looking at a half day before and afterwards to tear down and set up.
Because we didn't put that into the budget. So there's a potential half day in front of or behind this.
Yep.
Do they rent the facility
It's
in a
half
half day?
cost. Half cost.
It's half the cost. You get a full day, but it's half the cost.
Yeah. So nobody's coming in, but this is our brain trust on what it would really take to do it. Just looking and asking, and I plan on continuing to ask. We have a potential meeting with El Dorado Hills.
Yeah, we do, and we're gonna go take that meeting if it comes through, absolutely. Because we're gonna pick every brain we can. I'm even suggesting that we join our local Chamber of Commerce, our Placerville Chamber of Commerce. They told Steve they weren't interested in producing this event, but I'm already working behind the scenes with some of the chamber members to see if we can't shift that sometime in the next year to getting a little more support from them. But we'll probably need to join that. It'll be about a $250 expense for us to do that. We'll talk about it at the next board meeting.
But correct me if I'm wrong, that's not Placerville Chamber of Commerce, that's El Dorado County Chamber.
I think it's Placerville. I think that, I may be wrong, but I think there's the Placerville Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
There's a Cameron Park Shingle Springs Chamber of Commerce, and there's an El Dorado Hills Chamber of Commerce. We worked with the Cameron Park Shingle Springs when we did the event at Burke Junction. So if we were going to do something in that area, that would be the one we want to talk to. But
Sure.
since we're all the way up here in Placerville, I think that that's the one. And it could be called El Dorado County, I'm not sure, but I thought it was Placerville.
Yeah, I've talked to Lori down there, and she said, we already have a wine on our festivals with the Moore Association. I'm like, okay, not exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah.
But nobody's really said no yet. That's the thing, it's like, what they're looking for is some well thought out, this could be a really cool thing.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna start, like the wine association, if we tell them how we're gonna do it and what we're gonna, I think they would come on board. They haven't
Especially year
said no.
two.
Because right now I
Especially
have
the
them in
second
there
year.
donating 50 cases of wine to us. So they may come up with a different proposal.
Yeah. Well,
Good job, girl.
and one of the things the Winderlust did was they sold tickets, and so the wineries and the beer vendors would take the tickets in, and when they brought the tickets back, they'd refund them. They'd make money on the show. So it's something we need to think about: is how can we entice them? If there's money involved, they probably will. If it's wine tasting like we do on the third Saturday, not knocking third Saturday, but I'm just saying if it's wine tasting, there's no money involved for them. It's all advertising. And that takes effort to come out and product, and it's not as attractive as that.
And what I've suggested, and we'll see how it plays out, is because Saturdays and Sundays are so hard to get away from the tasting rooms, that we just approach the wineries and ask them for a straight out donation of wine. We get the liquor license, we pour it, we make some money from pouring that wine, and then they get sponsorship listings. I worked with a animal rescue group in Napa County 20 years ago, and they would never cut us a check for anything, but they'd give us wine, no problem. So we're kind of looking at that now, but if they jump out in and say they want to do it differently with your next door neighbor, we're sure willing to listen. But anyway, this is what that couple of hundred glasses of wine up there is about, is what we could do with 50 cases of wine and turn it into a small revenue number for the event.
Cool. Any questions? So this is kind of just a dart on the wall kind of thing, but the way I thought it would kind of work out is we'd start the plenary event on day one, do the setup, get everybody all signed up and get them on their way. And then have music, food, beer and wine, kind of ends at, I've seen them in the dark, I've seen them end early. We'd have to pick this a nice day, 6, 7, 8. The wine listing I had lights in my tent. Then day 2 we do the awards, make the plein air stuff complete, and then just do the same thing, probably in a reasonable hour on Sunday. The big thing on this slide is, how do you make the art the draw? How do you get collectors? How do you get people in who are really going to buy art? I mean, I'm all for serving people wine, but it's collectors we want.
Well, that's where we would try to get renowned plein air artists, and there's plenty of them in Northern California, and you give them some, if they appear, whatever,
Right.
But we get them there, and then they draw their people as well. It'd be like Thomas Kincaid being somewhere, hopefully. I mean, that's how
Early
some.
years, yeah.
But that's how some plein air artists are. They actually have that much of a draw,
That's nice.
and so.
And so the festival part of this would be individual artists putting a pop-up booth up and having a 10 by 10 space for their artwork. The plein air part of this would be a competition, and because I've suggested adding the organ room into the mix, and because I know that we can hang 250 to 300 pieces of art in the organ room, I'm suggesting that we combine the plein air competition with an art show for the artists participating in the plein air competition, so that their entry fee would also allow them to bring 4, 5 pieces of previously
Yes.
created artwork to the show,
Yes.
and that pavilion then be an actual art show that's representing the artists, the 50 or so artists that are competing in the competition.
So you're talking about a second building?
That's the organ room. That's
Okay,
the organ
so
room that I
we
put
would
in the
open that
budget.
up on Sunday, and that's where we would have the show, the judging, and their display of their art, and
Right.
they can sell their art.
And right, and actually I would suggest that we have them price their art, and that because they're out in the field painting, that we hang the show either Friday evening or early on Saturday, because we know how to put 100 pieces of art up in 2 hours. It's not a problem. And that we run this art show for the plein air artists at the same time we have the festival going in the Forney room, so that you have all the vendors with their booths and tents over in the Forney room, and then over in the organ room, you have the plein air artists that are having an art show that we're then cashiering for that art show if somebody wants to buy a painting, and we can take a commission on that as well.
And we can have demonstrations in there, and we can
Yes.
have all kinds of
Yes.
things to draw people into that room
Yes.
to
Yes.
buy things.
Yes,
I'm just curious, if we use the second room, is it going to cost us more then?
it's in the budget.
Oh, it's in the budget?
Yeah, it's in the budget, it's in the budget already.
So originally, when I thought, okay, I would participate as a plein air painter, but I assumed, obviously incorrectly,
Well, it's
that
evolving.
I would already have reserved a space in the festival area as one of the artists.
You can do that too,
Yeah.
but you need somebody to sit your booth while you're plein air
Right.
And
painting.
set it up and sell and talk and,
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
this, and it can be done maybe in year 2, 3, or 4, where we're having 2-day art festival, and we have the plein air is during the week. Because plein air artists will travel during the week and paint. This is not something that they just do on Saturdays. This is something that they'll come on a Wednesday and come out and paint.
Well, and you may decide you want to hold the plein air event actually on the Friday,
Yeah.
because we're going to be there setting up anyway.
Right.
So all we have to do on Friday is stamp their canvases, right? And so let them go paint on Friday, bring it back in on Saturday, and then go
Sell.
work their own booths, because
Sell
we're
all weekend
watching.
long.
I mean, this is really still evolving, Carol, and it wasn't until Saturday morning that we added on the organ room for a whole
Right.
something to do for the plein air artists that made it extra special.
And I would argue too that it might be better to have the plein air artist mixed in with the rest of the artists. So because if people have to choose which building to go into, there might be a small amount of people that just, oh, I'm only gonna do plein air, but they might wanna do both. I mean, just an argument to say mixing together may not be bad.
Well,
And just set the space up and block it. If we do it that way, they can be selling all weekend long.
yeah, and that's where there's the Eagle plein air competition. Somehow they've grown it from a 2-day event to a 7-day event. Actually, it's 9 days. And so I want to go and talk to Meg, or at least get her on the phone and figure out what she did. I want to go to it this year and participate and compete. So I want to see what she's done since I would last competed in her competition, because it's pretty nice. And Eagle is really small, but Boise is smaller than the Sacramento area as far as population.
Yeah.
And they draw hundreds of people to come in and paint.
So a show of hands from our membership. Do we have an interest in continuing to pursue producing this event? Could you please raise your hand if you think that would be something we would be involved in? Okay, I'd say that's most of you. Okay, very good. Thank you all for that.
Okay.
So is there any counter reasons why we shouldn't?
Because we're lazy. I'm kind of lazy. I'm real lazy.
Just because I'm on the board, I'm involved with.
And you're going to be on the committee.
But,
You're stuck.
no, I'm already doing, no.
I heard that
Doesn't mean I
before.
won't help,
She'll
but
volunteer.
we're being a negative now here. We already have trouble getting people to volunteer. So when we add one more event, especially a big event like this, we're going to run into that same problem, because you know as well as I, and I'm not trying to put anybody down here. There is a small group of people who do most of the work in this group.
Right.
And they get burned out, and so there's just gotta be enough interest so that there's gonna be enough people that are gonna wanna help you, so you don't get burned out.
And that's another reason to partner with other community organizations, because they can bring volunteers in as
Yes.
well.
And
They
this
can bring
also
people in
having
day
trouble
of.
finding somebody to take over Motherlode. Yeah, we can't even get somebody to take over Motherlode, much less this, but Steve, you're it, you and Tracy are it.
Well, see, we have energy going in this direction right now. We don't necessarily have energy going in the Motherlode direction right now with somebody willing to step up. And as I've said, even though Sue has forbidden me, I am not above taking over that Motherlode show if I have to, just until I find somebody else to do it. Because usually if I start taking something over, somebody will rescue me, right? And so we would hope that happens if we have to do that. But I think we've got a lot of energy going in this direction, and I agree with you. You know, we cover about 65 shifts when we volunteer for the 4-day county fair. So we do muster a lot of volunteer activity from this room. And as I look around, I see people here that do cover shifts for us at the county fair. So I think it's going to be doable. And yeah, it's another event and it does push us, but also sometimes these events bring our volunteers out of the woodwork for us. Can I ask this gentleman who he is before he leaves the room? You're like, I know, he wants to remain invisible.
I'm Brian Lumley.
Nice to meet you, Brian.
So it's interesting. I'm part of nonprofits. A short story. There's a men's group in the area called SIR. Does anybody know about this?
Yes.
So I'm the president this year.
Huh.
And so I'm trying to look at activities for, and I always make a joke, it's a bunch of old guys that get together.
And we're a bunch of old women, so it works.
Old guys that get together to do fun stuff.
Yeah.
And I've always thought there was a catch, like, that can't be true, but it turned out to just be about 120, mostly retired men, who get together and do fun stuff. And so I'm looking for things for us to do. Last week, I sponsored a new activity called Exhibits and Eats. And we went to the Crocker Art Museum.
Nice, nice.
And I was surprised at the level of interest in this group. Most of the guys play golf and bocce and stuff like that. Most of the activities are sports related. I'm surprised that there's actually a bunch of folks and their significant others, wives, whatever, who like art.
Well, excellent. Let's get his
So-
email address before he gets out of here.
So
And
I actually went, this is crazy, I went online and I did a search on art shows. And Glasgow Art Association came up, and I saw that you had a meeting today, so I thought I would stop by and check out and maybe talk to somebody about doing something with the SIR group. And yet, but I gotta go.
Okay, get his email, because I see 100 volunteers right there.
It's interesting, so a lot of the women, the guys, most of the guys are married or, you know, they have significant others. Most of their women are involved in the Assistance League. You guys know about that?
Yep.
And all the guys run all the Assistant League shows because their wives said, you gotta, you know, take care of the parking lot and
And help set up the tents and all that
Yes.
stuff,
They
absolutely.
would be more than happy.
We
to.
appreciate our men. There are a few of them in the room here, but there are others that come with the other women here in the room. So we're gonna get your email right here and we're gonna make contact with you, because this was
And phone
a
number.
serendipitous, wonderful thing to have happen.
Thank you for coming.
And
Yeah, so
phone
hi,
number too,
everybody.
so we can just call. Because
Oh, and get his phone number too, because Tracy
Shall
wants,
we? Come
because
on.
Tracy wants to call him. I'm telling your husband, Tracy.
Cost an hour.
I know.
It's not, you could stay for.
Okay, we good? We good? Anything else we need on this?
No, do it, one less.
Hold on, Sylvia's got something.
About volunteers and what Carolyn was concerned about, I would not volunteer in May or June. I would volunteer in October, when everything else is done.
But you do volunteer for the county fair in June,
But
because you get to be inside.
But I don't want something else in May. I mean, we don't need all that, the spring show, the fair, this, that, and the other thing really piles up. But if we had something in mid-October, people could come and Christmas shop, like I love what she said, you know, and it would be beautiful weather outside for plein air painting. And it's kind of the end of the year, you know, it would be nice.
It's
closing it.
certainly something to talk about, how the timing would go, and a lot of that depends on availability. Okay, I'm gonna cut this off right here.
They're too busy eating. Okay, ladies, keep eating, just, that way you won't be able to talk. If you have not yet come to a meeting here or any other event at the senior center so far in 2026, you still need to fill one of these out. This is their liability waiver. You need a new one every year. I only have 7 right now, but I can go get some more copies made. So if you have not filled one out yet for 2026, put up your hand and I will get you one. And if I have extra hands, I'll go get some more copies made. And then you can fill them out here and give them, you were here last month?
Who we giving them to?
It's a very simple,
I didn't fill one out. Okay.
check a box and sign your
You
name
give
and
it back to
date
me,
it.
absolutely. Look at that, I'm here. Oops. One, nobody else needs one?
Oh,
Yeah. I have
that's
to
so
find the right
perfect.
one.
You guys, this keeps us in good standing
Yeah.
with the senior center. They love us and we need to keep loving them. Okay, Paul's waiting. What else? Hold on. Okay. I wanted to thank Sue Davis. That is an awesome spread. But I know you didn't bring it all, but I want to thank everybody that brought the food. That is amazing.
Yeah.
That is such a beautiful spread. I love it. Okay, that's what I wanted to say. Okay, now Paul Yandell, who is the chair of the studio tour, would like to say a few words. Okay.
I just want to say that, first of all, raise your hand if you're planning on being involved with the tour this year. We're going to either just show, so a good number of you. This is the best opportunity for a Placerville artist to show their work. It's unjudged. There's 40 artists participated last year. It's a 3-day event. It gets everyone a chance to interact with your, with the public. In my case, we're in Cameron Park. It was our first year we participated, and we had over 105 people come to our house. And it was great. And there was 4 artists there, and this year we already have 5 people interested in showing. So if you try it out, you'll find it's pretty fun. So this is the season right now where what we're trying to do is get everyone to sign up so we can get our budget together and come up with a brochure, which Sylvia, thankfully, is going to put together again this year. You saw the brochure last year. It was pretty awesome. So if you're on the fence, please talk with me or anybody else who's participated, and you're welcome to join in. It's a lot of fun. It's easy to do, and it's just a great opportunity. And we're all about the artists. And this year in particular, we're going to have a party for all the artists showing. We're going to have a party at my house, and so it should be pretty fun. It'll be in June, and it's just going to be a good time to get together and share ideas and thoughts and just have fun, because that's what this is all about. Okay? So our next meeting for the tour committee is going to be February 18th, which is next Wednesday. We meet Wednesdays at noon on the third Wednesday of the month. So that, and it's all online, all the information. Okay? Any questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul.
Hope to see you.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bill, looks like you're chomping at the bit. You come on up. Bill is with Images of Hope, who sponsor banners on parade. We all know about banners.
Don't give it away.
Okay, he doesn't know nothing about the banners.
It's our 20th year of Banners on Parade downtown. I've got 3 applications here. They're available online. If anybody, I know Steve just told me he turned his in, right? Yep. And so if anybody has a big desire to paint a 30-inch by 60-inch canvas banner, both sides, and have it displayed on Main Street for 5 months during our 20th anniversary, it'll take us up over close to 600 banners in 20 years.
Wow.
So please consider it. And
What's
I've
the
got
theme?
applications
What's
if
the
anybody's
theme?
interested. You gonna do one?
What's the theme?
The theme is a walk in the woods.
Oh, okay. No, I can't, my eyesight isn't good, but I've done a couple of them.
I know you have. I know. Yeah.
I like that.
She did three.
I
Walk in the
like
woods.
that. I could sculpt a walk in the woods and hang it on the banner. That wouldn't work. I want to bring it to your attention that we are in the renew your membership phase. It's important that you renew your membership early in the year so you can partake in all of the events that are throughout the year. The newsletter is out. You know, it goes out at the first of each month, and it's got in there renew your membership, and it says click here to do that. So please do. It's important that your membership is up to date, okay? I just wanted to throw that out, okay? Good. Okay, Bill, we got Bill. Art lunch. Art lunch is so much fun. It is so much fun, and it is next Thursday, not this coming Thursday, but next Thursday, the 19th, at Solid Ground. Solid Ground is in Shingle Springs?
Diamond Springs.
Diamond Springs, I meant that, yeah. I get those, sorry, Sherry, I get those two mixed up. Okay, in Diamond Springs, okay. And if you do want to go, let Linnell know so she can get the number for reservations, okay? That's important. Carolyn, I'm not necessarily needing to call on you, but you can sure come up and talk about the member show if you'd like.
All I want to say, and I know you all can hear me. April 6th, Monday, April 6th is intake for the spring show. You gotta be there between 8 o'clock and 9:30. Everything you should need to know is on the website, placervillearts.com. Look down on the right side, scroll down near the bottom, find the spring show, click on it. You're gonna get links to entry rules, entry form, and all the little details about the media categories. It is a media-based show. Our judges are Joe and Paula Bellicera, and you have a question. I see it on your face. No, listen, you can enter up to 4 pieces. It is not jury. You just show up that morning with your stuff wired and framed as appropriate. Kathy, do we have pedestals left?
Thank you. We've got 2.
We have 2 pedestals.
We have 2
still there
pedestals left.
for 3D work.
If you have 3D work and you want a pedestal, please reserve it with Kathy.
Yeah.
That'd be a no, Lori. We only get one.
We try and keep it to one. And I'm trying to think, and then the reception, it's the same place, Government Center, the reception's on Friday. We are upping our awards amounts a little bit. We are having a new category called Small Works, nothing over 12 inches in any direction, including the frame, if it's frameable. And no 3D stuff, just wall art, sorry, all you 3D artists. And our reception is gonna be in the building where we always do intake, where they're giving us a room downstairs with more chairs, tables, instead of putting all the little goodies on your lap. We're gonna try that this time, and see how it goes. So we'll see you the morning of April 6th.
Okay, and $10 per entry.
$10 per entry, that hasn't gone up in quite some time. You can have up to 4 entries, and only 1 entry can be not for sale,
Okay,
because, you know, we like to make money. And we're going to be offering a beautiful silent auction piece, scratch board by Shirley Isola. It is absolutely fabulous. We're not starting this one at $50. We're gonna be starting a little bit high, but it's very, very, very nice scratch board piece. So come and take a look at it, come see the show, even if you're not entering, but I hope you enter.
okay. Any questions to Carolyn? Okay, no, okay, that's good, we're just moving along. Linnell alluded a little bit earlier, but the Motherlode show is getting in full gear, it's ramping up. And Sue and Carolyn are taking the helm this year. And this is the last year that they will be taking the helm. It's a perfect time for anybody who's thinking that maybe they could be chair to work with Sue and Carolyn and see how organized it is. They got a book about everything. It's fabulous.
The venue for the following year is already set up. You don't even have to worry about that.
Yeah, it's
There's a process that we have developed to make this show a success. You just have to come in, follow the formula, put your own spin on it, and be a show chair.
And it's not like we're going to be going anywhere, so we're still there to help and guide and
Yeah.
be on the team.
Yeah, and how long has Sue been doing this?
I think this is her 4th year.
4th year?
Yeah, she's ready to hand it over. This is our 60th, so if it dies, we'll go out on the diamond celebration.
Yeah,
But we don't really want to see it die, but we're ready to not be in charge anymore.
Right, it's our biggest event, and it is our biggest money maker. In the past, it always cost us money. Is Marilyn still, there's Marilyn, right? At the Shakespeare Club, we were happy if it only cost us $2,200. And now we make that and more. So it's very successful, and thank you, Carolyn.
It's very important to the fiscal health of our organization.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, thank you, Carolyn and Sue. We are thinking about you. You guys have just been outstanding. So think about it. If you want to take it over, it'd be great.
Talk to me or talk to Sue Wickersham, either one, if you're interested in that.
Yeah. Okay, I think, and Tracy, you already did your spiel, didn't you, up here?
I did, but I just want to say one other thing, that if you want to participate in the plein air competition this year, please sign up. And then we also would like your help getting it out, getting the word out. So again, if you have Facebook connections, you're in some art groups or whatever, please contact me, or I can email you this flyer. You can post it on your Facebook or your Instagram, and then you can also get it to your art groups.
And you can also find that flyer on placervillearts.com's Facebook page, and you
Yes.
can share it from there.
Please do, because we're about a third full, but we're still 3 months out, but we want to get up to that 35. And we can take more, but anyway, thank you.
Okay, thank you. I just want to say it looks like there's 2 more canvases available in the bag, and there's also the wallets. The wallets are on the seat. Did you guys forget about that free stuff? There's free stuff over there.
That's what it is.
Okay. use it, take it. Okay, now we get the challenge, and the challenge is have a heart. So I'm just gonna go in the order that I put people's names down. And the first one is our beloved president, Linnell.
All right. So I brought something new for me today. This is a piece that I created a template using Midjourney AI, a line drawing template. Now the blue in the background was just printer's ink, but the rest of the coloration was done using pan pastel and colored pencil. So if I were to enter this in the member show, Carolyn has told me that this would go into the mixed media category, or it could be entered as a small work because I believe it's less than 12 inches. So,
Beautiful.
thank you. Thank you.
That was a good thingy to show the small works.
And also the category.
Well, yeah, but it gives the size and it gives you a visual. It's a good thingy. Anyway.
Good art piece.
Yeah, it's a good, there you go. Good art piece. Sherry.
So I got my panels from the Rancho Cordova 6x6 that we donate every year for their little auction that they put on for a fundraiser. So this was one of the panels that I did. So I call this Queen Sweetheart.
Nice. Very nice.
Okay. And Shirley, don't sit down.
Who's next? Oh, thank you. I'm Kara.
Carolyn.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, but this isn't Carolyn for you video people.
This is Shirley.
I was at TJ Maxx. I saw this little bear, and he didn't have anything on him. He was just plain old plaster bear. I thought he was so cute. So I decided, okay, I think I'm gonna grab him because he had the word love on his little heart here. So I painted him up, and he's full of love. So all you have to do is stare at him long enough, and you'll fall in love with somebody today.
I'm not looking.
Anyway, and the cap was laying around the house, and I just stuck it on his head. He actually looks like that.
Well, he's cute both ways. With and without the hat.
So anyway,
Thank you,
that was my
Shirley.
project.
What's his name?
Oh, you had to ask you.
Love Bear. Love Bear.
Love bug?
Okay.
We'll go with love bug.
That's cute. Okay, and now we have Carolyn.
Okay.
And Patty, you're
Here we go.
next.
So I went, hearts, I'm supposed to bring hearts today. I don't have any paintings with the hearts, but I remembered I had these little ceramic hearts that I made about a year ago. So I stuck them on the board and brought those. They're all for sale. Anyway, they're just fun little ceramic hearts, so that was my heart project.
Very nice.
And now we have Patty.
I did this ceramic heart about 8 years ago. It hangs downstairs next to a watercolor that my sister did. That had like a bouquet of flowers and things that she did in Jim Este's class. She used to take his classes. But I
Nice.
kind of needed something on the other wall to accent it, so I did this heart.
Very nice, Patty.
Very nice.
Little different for you, but very nice.
Yeah.
And, Bill, Paul, why don't you come on up?
Sure.
Don't forget Bill, though, because he's there in the list.
No, I got Bill.
So this is, I call Crazy Heart. It started out just a background. Did this some years ago. And then came the ribs. This was built into the background. And I thought, what is this? And then the ribs came out, and then the heart came last. It's kind of fun. I have it actually hanging in my house.
And Sarah, focus over here.
I probably can.
Be easier. I'm calling this work in progress. It was supposed to be proof of concept, but it's not quite there. So I wanted to do something with the heart. It's not quite cooperating, and it's inspired by Alexander Calder.
Very nice.
What else do you want to do with it? Make it not wobbly.
Which is going to be a real trick because you put rockers on the bottom.
Well, no, I think what I will do is I'll solder together some brass and
okay.
make it more stable of a stable.
Right. Because rockers on the bottom is going to make balancing tricky.
Yeah, I don't know how Alexander Calder did it, but I was looking at a picture of one of his, and he's much better with wire than I am, or was much better.
I'm pretty sure it was lots of drugs.
He was wild.
That's to move.
Yeah, that's And Pam.
I like to say my art has gone to the dogs. And I've been painting this past month for some friends who lost their favorite dog. And I know people love their dogs. They become part of your family. And I had to leave a dog back in New York State because we moved to California and we were going to live in a mobile home park that had no facilities for animals. So we put our dog on television, and we sold her to an older couple. We donated her, really. And so we would write letters to see how our dog was doing. So I have a special heart for my friends' dogs. And recently I have been painting a dog and the same dog side by side, so that now I have painted enough dogs that I have a dog wall at home. And so this is my dog that I painted side by side with my friends. So this dog does not belong to me, but I don't know the dog's name. But when I sat down, there was this little heart on the table says, "I will rest and recharge," and that's just what the dog is doing.
Very nice.
Oh, and I'm getting a commission out of this because they have 2 other dogs who have died. So, what are they doing to those dogs?
Is this Bill Robinson coming up next?
I'm coming up right here.
Is coming up next.
All right.
I just did a nod to Bill.
I see. All you have to do is wink at Bill and he comes. Is that what you're saying? All right.
So this is a folded page book. A few years back, a gal, we have a lot of our Images of Hope classes, our art classes, at High Sierra Quilters on Broadway. And they have a lot of different classes there, and one of them is a book folding class. And the gal that does them does all different kinds of things. There's one coming up, by the way, on the 28th of February, in case you're interested. First one I went to was a Christmas tree, and then she had this one, and I just really liked it, and it was just fun to do. And we have it sitting in our house, especially this time of year. So anyway, so if you have, and if you're a reader and you have thousands of old books, and you don't know what the hell to do with them. This is one thing.
Very nice, Bill. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
That's like what, origami?
No.
Different.
It's,
It's
really.
It's really very intense, you know, folding in a certain way, a certain little amount, you have to move each page, you know, in order to get the design. And the next one coming up on the 28th of February is butterflies.
Ooh.
Yeah, so if anybody's interested, I've got the flyer for that.
And
Book
Rebecca.
folding, book folding. Oh, and you can find it on the web too, or on YouTube. There's a lot of stuff about book folding.
Okay. And this is Rebecca.
Well, mine is more for Valentine's Day, and I did a,
Rebecca, yeah, you gotta show it to the camera.
That way it projects up.
and it's a rose, and Valentine's Day is roses, and it's red, and it's done in pastel over an alcohol wash.
Very nice. Very nice.
Very nice. Did I miss anybody?
She has one on her cell phone.
Well, come on up.
Come on up, Jean. Show us what you
Come on up,
got.
Jean.
This is a picture of a painting that I did earlier, a few months ago, for my son. And it's of his cat, and his wife's cat actually. And it has actually a heart shape on its side. I don't know if I can, tell me if I, can you see that?
We can see that. Very good. Thank you for sharing that.
Pastel. They have the actual picture.
You're with dark. Your
Yeah,
phone.
you
Just
gotta
tap your
tap.
phone. Tap
your
it.
phone.
Tap your screen. And then it'll come back to light. Uh-oh, it locked.
But there's a nice logo there.
Well, promote the group for sure. Yeah, that's good. It's even a little less glary than last time. Very nice. And what is the media?
Pastel.
Pastel. You gotta ask Jean, because she works in different stuff, so.
Yeah. Jean is quite an artist. Been around the block a few times. Huh, Jean?
Oh, please, Kathy. She's a spring chick. Kathy.
You've been around the block a few times, haven't you? You know, that's it. Guys, we're done.
We made it in time. Oh my God, that's so great. Yay.